On December 18, 2025, a quiet morning in North Carolina turned into one of the darkest days in NASCAR history. A small jet, a Cessna Citation II, crashed while attempting to land at Statesville Regional Airport. The impact ended the lives of 7 people, including retired NASCAR champion Greg Biffle, his entire family, and close friends. It was a tragedy that would send shockwaves through the racing world and beyond. To understand the weight of this loss, you have to know who Greg Biffle was. He wasn't just a racer, he was a force of nature on the track. A 19-time Cup Series winner, a champion in both the Truck and Xfinity Series, and officially named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. He was a true legend of the sport, but off the track, his impact was just as profound. He was a devoted father and husband, and a respected humanitarian whose foundation helped people and animals across the country. He was the kind of person who gave everything he had, whether he was behind the wheel or helping someone in need. 7 souls were on board that jet: Greg Biffle, his wife Christina, and their 2 children, Emma and Ryder. They were joined by a close family friend, Craig Wadsworth. Piloting the aircraft was Dennis Dutton, an experienced aviator who had his son Jack with him. 7 lives, each with their own stories and dreams, were extinguished in an instant. There were no survivors. Their destination was Sarasota, Florida. It was supposed to be a simple day trip, a routine flight to spend some quality time together before the holidays. The jet took off from Statesville at 10:06 in the morning, climbing into a sky filled with light rain and low clouds. For the first few minutes, everything seemed completely normal, but then, just minutes after takeoff, something went terribly wrong. Flight data shows the aircraft made a sudden, sharp turn, heading back towards the airport it had just left. No distress call was ever made to air traffic control. A sudden return like this, without communication, points to a catastrophic event on board. It could mean a serious mechanical issue, a complete instrument failure, or something so urgent that the pilot had no time to do anything but try to get the plane back on the ground immediately. At 10:15 a.m., just 9 minutes after it took off, the jet reappeared out of the low clouds, aimed for the runway. Witnesses on the ground described a terrifying scene. They saw the plane descending rapidly, coming in far too steep and far too fast for a safe landing. Seconds later, the aircraft struck the ground just short of the runway. The impact was devastating, and the jet exploded into a massive fireball, leaving no chance for survival. As the National Transportation Safety Board begins its difficult investigation, several possibilities are being examined. Mechanical failure is at the top of the list. A sudden loss of power in one or both engines, or a failure of a critical control system, could explain the rapid descent. Another theory is instrument malfunction. Flying in low visibility, a condition known as IMC or instrument meteorological conditions, is incredibly dangerous. If the pilot's instruments fail, they would be flying blind. The weather itself, while not severe, played a role by reducing visibility. And finally, the pilot's response is under review. An emergency turn-back maneuver is one of the most difficult and high-stakes procedures a pilot can face, even for a seasoned veteran. News of the crash sent a wave of devastation through the NASCAR community. The outpouring of grief was immediate and immense. Tributes flooded in from drivers, teams, owners, and fans from all corners of the globe. Fellow drivers like Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. shared heartfelt messages, remembering Biffle not just for his incredible victories and his fierce competitive spirit, but for his generosity and his unwavering commitment to helping others. He was a competitor on the track, but a friend to everyone in the garage. His loss leaves a void that can never be filled. For the families and friends of those lost, the grief is simply unimaginable. A loving family was taken in an instant, leaving behind a community in shock and mourning. In North Carolina, where the Biffles lived, and in Florida, where they were headed, vigils were held. People gathered to light candles, share stories, and honor the memories of all 7 victims, supporting each other through an unthinkable tragedy. As investigators worked tirelessly to piece together what happened on that tragic morning, the legacy of Greg Biffle continues to shine brightly. He was more than just a race car driver. He was a champion, a father, a hero, and a man who inspired millions with his talent and his heart. While the world mourns this terrible loss, it's his incredible life we will remember far more than the tragedy that ended it. His impact on and off the track will be felt for generations to come. Thank you for watching.